Today's video, I'll be talking about how much you could spend if you want to buy a new computer or put together a new computer without paying someone to do it. Just if you bought all the parts and just assembled it yourself, like I did. So I bought two new computers, one in 2021, which was based on the Intel i7 10700KF, and those are all the components for it here. CPU was an i7 10700KF at $308.30. The motherboard was an Asus H470M Micro ATX motherboard, $118.99. Operating system was Windows 11 Home. I bought this at Hookies for about $30. The GPU was MSI Geforce RTX 3060, OC 12 gigabyte video card. I actually bought it in 2022 for about $519.99 at Newegg. The CPU heatsink was a Arctic Freezer 13-200 for $21.49. Storage devices was put in a Fanxiang S880 2TB M.2 NVMe SSD that costs about $116.99. I also put three Western Digital 500 gigabyte M.2 NVMe SSDs. These were about $42.99 each, and I bought three of them. I have a Western Digital Blue 4TB SATA 3 hard drive, which costs about $64.99. I also put in a Samsung Evo 860 500 gigabyte SATA 3 2.5-inch SSD that costs about $50. This is a RAM for it. It was a Corsair Vengeance LPX 32 gigabytes, 8 gigabyte by 4 at $149.98. The case, I just bought a case for $50. The power supply unit was just a EVGA 600 watt 80 plus bronze PSU for $50. So before taxes it costs $116,070. After tax it costs $1,766.64. The latest computer that I bought was based on the Intel i7 13700KF. And these are the breakdown of all the parts that I put in. The CPU was i7 13700KF at $303.49. Motherboard was Asus Prime B760 Plus full ATX motherboard at $129.99. The operating system was Windows 11 Home. I bought it at Hookies for about $30. GPU, I recently bought this about a week ago, and it cost, it was Asus Geforce RTX 4070 Super 12 gigabyte for about $599.99. The CPU heatsink was a 6-pipe heatsink, paid $20.99. As for the storage devices, I put a whole bunch of them in there. The one that has the operating system on it is a Fanxiang S880 Pro, 1 terabyte M.2 NVMe SSD. I bought three of them for $59.98 per M.2 NVMe. I also put in a Fanxiang S880 Pro, 512 gigabyte M.2 NVMe SSD for $27.18. Put in another Fanxiang S101 2 terabyte 2.5-inch SATA 3 SSD for $95.39. I also put in a Samsung Evo 860 500 gigabyte SATA 3 SSD for about $50. The game capture, I also put in a game capture card. It's an Elgato HD60X game capture for $159. The RAM was a Corsair Vengeance RGB DDR3 32 gigabyte 16 gigabyte times 2 for $114.99. I plan to add 32 gigabytes more of the same RAM maybe later this year. So I'll definitely add more. The case was an Antec NX 410 ATX mid-tower case for $58.65. Power supply was a Aptiva ATX GX 650 watt 80 plus gold PSU for $54.99. So the total price before tax was $1,824.60. After tax, it was $2,002.50. So you would spend rough anywhere from, if you want a decent computer with a decent video card and a decent amount of RAM and a good amount of storage space, you would be expected to spend anywhere from $1,600, maybe $1,500 to $1,900 before tax. Probably after tax, anywhere from $1,700 to $2,200. If you want a decent computer that could do everything you want it to do. If you want a really high-end computer with maybe something like a i9 or something, or if you wanted a GPU like a Geforce RTX 4090, you could spend well over $3,000 to $4,000 for it. For me, I don't need a computer with that much power. I just need something to just get my work done and also play some games as well. But I really didn't need to buy anything that was excessive. I could have bought it, but usually when I buy computers, I don't buy the best. I just buy something that's in the middle and a little upper middle or something, but never like the best of the best, because I really don't need it. Not that I couldn't afford it, I could, but I just don't care for it. But this is how much it would cost you if you wanted to get a decent computer in 2024. I'd like to hear about your thoughts in the comment section below, and thank you for watching.